Before the fame, you ran an independent cleaning service, which I really admire because it highlights your determination and your hustle. And those values are very important in life. So what advice would you give to aspiring dreamers out there on balancing life's responsibilities while also maintaining their music career?
I would say just never get too comfortable, This economy isn't getting any better. I have a question for you, though.
Yes.
You, if I'm not mistaken, Mike Tyson?
Yeah, that's me.
No, we're nothing. We're dead. We're dust. We're absolutely nothing. Our legacy is nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That is something that I have not heard before, someone say that as an answer.
Interviewing him?
Yes, I did.
You.
I'm 14 years old right now.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much. I'm turning 15, guys, but thank you so much.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Thank you so much for that. And that really means a lot coming from you because I'm a huge R&B fan. And when my sister first got me into R&B, she made me listen to you first. So I'm very proud to say that.
Thank you so much.
So are you on speaking terms for London?
Hell no.
Hey y'all, what's up? So we on set of my new podcast called Carisha Please.
And you say you had a cleaning business, right? Mm-hmm. And when you say cleaning business, were you hands-on?
Yeah, it was me.
And were you singing at the same time?
Yeah, everything.
What were your vines like back in the days?
Just playing the guitar.
Just playing the guitar?
Or just doing like little runs and stuff, singing.
And how do one go from Vine to somebody actually finding you? And when somebody finds you, do you believe it?
So my name is Summer Walker, but there's another girl named Summer Walker, who's like married to DJ Drama.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So that was my manager at first. She found me and she brought me to LVRN. I forgot where she found me at, maybe online or something. And then, yeah, that's how it started.
Had you ever been even close to signing at that time? Or that was like
someone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, people have like said things to me, but I just, where's the money?
How are you feeling about being here tonight at the VMAs, this iconic red carpet and show coming up?
Lovely.
You're calm, I like it.
Yeah, I'm really calm. People don't really get it because they're like, is she even happy to be here? But I am. I just don't know how to be like, ah.
That's totally fair. I feel like when I kind of need to calm down and chill out, I listen to your music. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
One of my favorite movies is Talladega Nights.
Race car movie?
Yeah, the race car movie. And Will Ferrell is like doing his first interview and he keeps doing this and they're like, put your hands down. He was like, I just don't know what to do with my hands. But I feel real nice and having a good time. Like he doesn't know what to do with his body because he's awkward saying, what do I do?
You've since gotten way better.
Yeah.
The red carpet pictures now are incredible.
Period.
But that one was a...
Cause like, what do I do? Why are y'all looking at me? What do y'all want?
Did you know that was going to be like a viral moment as you were taking the picture, or did you?
No, I didn't. I was just trying to be normal.
That was not you trying to be normal.
I promise you. See, that's what people don't get. Like, it's so hard. Like, I just feel like an alien in a meat suit. Like, what do I do?
Define meat suit, like
steaks?
Like,
this is the meat suit, like, all this ass and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is the meat suit, and it's like, I'm just like a little gray alien, and I'm just like, what do I do with it?
I don't listen to the music after it comes out. I know a lot of people don't, but like after I make it, I don't want to hear it no more. You just gotta get it out. I've cried in the studio and shit.
Y'all got to understand that we left it. Summer.
Chicken, green beans, tomatoes, jam.
I'm over waxing.
Over waxing. I never waxed before.
Really?
Other than my eyebrows.
Don't do it.
Really?
Shit hurts.
You've waxed down there?
Girl, the other day, I've only done it like 2 times. You know, because excuse my French, but I feel like the D has to be good enough for me to get a wax. I'm not going through that pain for no damn reason.
So
people love celebrities, but sometimes they forget celebrities are still people. And one single photo can spark 1,000 opinions. That's exactly what happened when Summer Walker found herself at the center of another internet storm. Because apparently, smiling wrong can become a full-blown controversy in 2026. And this story gets deeper than just a meet and greet moment. It all started with a simple fan event. Summer Walker showed up to meet supporters. But people noticed something immediately. Her body language felt distant. Some fans said she looked like she didn't want to be there. Like meeting fans was more of a job requirement than a moment of connection. And the internet did what it always does. It started analyzing every facial expression, every posture, every second of interaction. But here's where things get interesting. Meet because Summer Walker didn't stay silent. She went online and gave her side of the story. She said something that many people related to, but others completely doubted. She explained that she has been dealing with social anxiety for years. Not just recently, not just because of fame, years of dealing with it. And she wanted people to understand something important. Anxiety doesn't always look like what people expect, because here's where society often gets confused. People think mental health struggles must look dramatic, like crying constantly, like avoiding society completely, like staying inside under the covers all day. But real life is far more complicated than that. You can struggle with anxiety and still go outside. You can struggle with anxiety and still want to enjoy life. You can struggle with anxiety and still choose when and how you interact with people. Mental health isn't a performance for social media, but the internet sometimes treats it like one. And that was only the beginning of the debate, because after she explained herself, another moment sparked even more controversy. She attended an event where she took a photo with someone dressed in a Lorax costume. Yes, the internet really started analyzing a cartoon costume interaction like it was a criminal investigation. People zoomed in on the photo, they looked at distance, they looked at hand positions, they analyzed whether they touched, and suddenly, strangers online were declaring she didn't have social anxiety because she was smiling in a photo. And that's when the conversation shifted from anxiety to authenticity. And because people started saying she must be faking her struggles. The logic was simple in internet culture. If you have social anxiety, you shouldn't go out. If you have anxiety, you shouldn't smile. If you have anxiety, you should always look uncomfortable in public. But that's not how psychology works. Anxiety isn't about never leaving the house. It's about how you manage social energy, pressure, and emotional stress. And that pressure started getting to her. Because later, she went on social media again. And this time, the tone was very different. Much more emotional, much more raw, much more frustrated. She started by addressing her real fans first. The people who support her music, her career, and her journey. But then she turned her attention to everyone else. And she didn't hold back. She talked about how exhausting it is to constantly explain your personality to people who already decided who you are. Imagine that for a second. Imagine millions of strangers deciding your emotional state based on a 10-second clip or a single photo. That kind of pressure can feel like living in a permanent courtroom trial where you're constantly defending your existence. She described her experience as feeling like high school never ended, like popularity politics never disappeared, just transferred to social media. One day people love you, the next day they're analyzing your mental health like they have medical degrees. And then she got even more direct. She expressed frustration with internet culture's double standards. Because people want celebrities to be relatable, but they also want them to be perfect. They want authenticity, but they also want performance. They want vulnerability, but they also want entertainment. It's a confusing emotional contract that no one really explains to public figures. She also shared details about that event night. She said she was surrounded by security. She didn't really talk to people. She stayed within her comfort zone. She watched people, observed the environment. That was her version of socializing. Not loud conversations, not forced interaction, just existing in the space. And that's actually a pretty interesting perspective when you think about it. Because social anxiety doesn't always mean avoiding social environments. Sometimes it means controlling how much emotional energy you give to social environments. Someone can attend an event, stay quiet, and still be mentally struggling with social pressure. The two things can exist at the same time, but the internet didn't stop there. Critics kept saying that if she can perform, go to events, or take pictures, then her anxiety must be exaggerated. And that's where things became emotionally intense in her response. She started talking about how people only want to believe mental health struggles when someone is visibly suffering. If someone is smiling, people question authenticity. If someone is successful, people question their pain. If someone is living life, people question their diagnosis. It creates a strange social paradox where people almost expect struggling individuals to look miserable in order to be believed. She even referenced how she used to struggle with public speaking. She talked about how when she first started doing club hosting appearances, she would shake while holding the microphone. She would sometimes hand the mic back because she felt overwhelmed. But over time, she improved. Not because the anxiety disappeared, but because she learned coping mechanisms. And that's actually a powerful message that often gets ignored. Mental health improvement doesn't always mean elimination of symptoms. Sometimes it means learning how to function while still dealing with them. But her frustration reached another level when she talked about internet bullying culture. She questioned why strangers care so much about how she lives her personal life. She argued that if people don't like her personality or her music, they don't have to follow her. They don't have to watch her content. They don't have to analyze her emotional reactions. And she made one of the most brutally honest points in the entire rant. She said people on the internet switch opinions constantly. One day they love someone, the next day they hate them. One day they're fans, the next day they're critics. It creates a toxic, emotional roller coaster for public figures. Then, the conversation took an even darker turn when she mentioned mental health consequences of online bullying. She talked about how constant harassment can push people emotionally to breaking points. She didn't explicitly use extreme language, but the message was clear. Continuous psychological pressure can become overwhelming, and that is something the internet often ignores when discussing celebrity culture. Fame doesn't remove mental health struggles. Sometimes it amplifies them. Not because now those struggles are judged publicly instead of privately. She ended her message by basically drawing a line in the sand. Either people accept her as she is, or they leave her alone. No emotional performance. No personality modifications for public approval. Just authenticity, even if that authenticity is messy, emotional, or uncomfortable for some viewers. But this situation raises a bigger question than just one artist and one controversy, because are fans supposed to have access to every emotional detail of a celebrity's personality, or is there a boundary between public entertainment and private mental health? Some people believe fans are entitled to transparency. Others believe celebrities should be allowed to exist without constant emotional surveillance. And this debate isn't going away anytime soon. Or because social media turned fame into a 24/7 personality review system. And here's the most interesting part of this entire story. The real conflict isn't about whether she has social anxiety or not. The real conflict is about expectations. People want celebrities to be relatable, but not too relatable. They want honesty, but not emotional honesty that makes them uncomfortable. They want vulnerability, but only in controlled, digestible formats. And that's a contradiction nobody has fully solved yet. So maybe the real question isn't whether she should have gone to that event, or whether she should have smiled more, or whether she should have defended herself online. Maybe the real question is why society feels entitled to judge someone's emotional state from a single social media moment. Because in the end, like celebrities live in a world where every smile, every silence, and every expression becomes public property. And that's a heavy price to pay for fame. So, what do you think? Was the backlash justified? Or was this another case of internet culture going too far? Because sometimes the loudest voices online aren't always the most accurate. Sometimes they're just the most confident. Drop your thoughts below. Do you think celebrities should have to explain their mental health publicly, or should they be allowed to keep some parts of their life private? And if you want more deep dives that go beyond surface headlines and actually unpack what's really going on behind the scenes, hit subscribe. Because in influencer culture, the posts are polished, but the truth, it's usually more complicated than the filter.